NXT Gold Rush Week 1. This is the Wrestling Inc. podcast. I'm Glenn, joined by Issa, Alfred.
Hi.
Tonight, here to talk about the big news, the biggest news in all of professional wrestling, the biggest news of 2023, the hottest story, the biggest story, what the people have been demanding, and that is Raw Underground is coming back to NXT for one match only.
Do we get Shane? Do we get Omos? Do we get the dancers? Do we get everybody back together is what I want to know.
We better get it all.
That's what she said.
Oh my God. They finally answered my letters. Raw Underground is coming back. It's every WWE fan survey. They're like, do you have anything else to add? Bring back Raw Underground.
Same.
Yeah.
Dreams do come true.
It's true. So we'll talk about that and more on tonight's edition of the Wrestling Inc. podcast. What is going on in the news that's not the Raw Underground story, which again, biggest story in all professional wrestling.
It is the biggest story in all of professional wrestling, but the second biggest story this past weekend was the debut of AEW Collision. CM Punk with a fiery promo, taking some subtweets at the Young Bucks, calling them counterfeit Bucks. He had a lot to say, removed the mic flag from his microphone, of course, which is something he did do in WWE when he was in work shoot mode. And there's some backstage reactions. It is said that the Young Bucks took this in stride. There really wasn't any real anger toward this, according to what some of the wrestling gossip websites are saying, but there clearly is still some tension, and people are now wondering whether or not this is going to be something where they're going to be able to work together or not. But the Young Bucks are not reportedly going to be on Dynamite tomorrow because it is expected that CM Punk is going to be there. Has he been announced yet? I have not seen him being announced there, but what were your guys' reactions to CM Punk's return and AEW Collision in general? Issa, did you get to see it?
I did not, but I did watch some of the clips. I actually popped for that line. I'm not even going to lie. Whether you like or you don't like the guy is so talented in the mic. He knows how to cut those promos. He knows how to get the people talking. And that is actually, I was covering an event local here in Puerto Rico, and I opened Twitter for 1 second, and that is literally the first clip that I saw. And I had all the likes and all the retweets was him saying the counterfeit Bucks line. Great reaction. I think seeing CM Punk in Chicago is almost wrestling fan bucket list. It's just magical. It's a whole different atmosphere than seeing him anywhere else. But I did get a vibe that Collision felt different, and they can build something here. It looked different. It featured people that look and act like wrestlers. Like, it seemed to be a good show. I love seeing Miro and Andrade look great. So I'm not gonna have the time to catch a Collision live, and that's like, I hate at what time it is on, because if I don't catch it live, I am not gonna go back and rewatch it, just because we see so many clips and so many. It's what we do, so it's all over our social media. So you're already seeing the majority of it. So what is the point of me sitting down to rewatch it? So that's my issue with Collision. But overall, I think it's exciting, and CM Punk can cut a promo that no matter what you say about the guy, that cannot be denied.
And I do want to point out that at many an AEW live event, including the first Double or Nothing, the Young Bucks did spray the audience with counterfeit Bucks.
Yeah, they did.
They did. That's their thing. That's their gimmick.
Yeah. So
imagine people that were saving them, thinking that they have value, finding this out from CM Punk.
I wonder if AEWshop.com does accept counterfeit bucks.
I have counterfeit Shane McMahon bucks from WrestleMania 32.
Oh, those are real. Those are not counterfeit. Those are 100%.
Oh, they're not?
You
How much are they worth?
Hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Shit. All right.
This is ultimately leading to some match. If this isn't a work of some sort, if there isn't a payoff to this is the dumbest actual rivalry in all of professional wrestling.
It is regardless.
Stupid at this point.
Okay, that's a valid point, but hear me out. In the ESPN interview, we heard that CM Punk said that he's trying to reach out to the Bucks and he gets messages back from his lawyer saying do not contact this person. What if we add that to the storyline? Yeah, what if we add that to the storyline and CM Punk tries to reach out again, and it's the lawyer who responds and says, this person does not wish to speak to you. They only wish to have a match with you at this pay-per-view in this event. And boom, that's how we set it up. The lawyer is the one that makes the match.
Well, yeah. And here's the difference. when Riddle and Brock, when Riddle was trying to get something going, or when Riddle and Seth and their thing, that wasn't the sub. There were no overt shots fired like this during promos on the air. Like, you don't bring that into the ring if you're not going to pay it off in the ring.
I mean, that's one way to say it, but CM Punk is a loose cannon. He's going to say what CM Punk's going to say. There's still debate as to whether or not he was even supposed to be saying that line. There are obvious legal ramifications. And here's the idea of, I think, people like us who follow every little backstage storyline, we like the idea of work shoots, but there's no indication that these are going to draw. Work shoots are so overrated. Like, I do not think this would be good. In fact, this work shoot has lost them money. All this talk about legal drama, they're having to pay lawyers because of this work shoot where they worked with Hangman Adam Page and it turned into an ugly thing. Now they have to pay legal fees. I don't think it's a good idea for them ever to work together, especially under Tony Khan's leadership.
I see Glenn's point, but this is also AEW no leadership we're talking about, where everything gets brought up, everything gets personal, people are punching each other backstage. So no, I don't think that's something that gets said in the ring is gonna pay off in the ring. Like, we saw the whole thing started because Hangman Adam Page said something out of pocket that he wasn't supposed to be saying. Look at the press conference where CM Punk even admitted that none of the stuff that he said should have been said. Like, they just go out there and say what they're gonna say. It's not, if they can work it into a shoot, into a work, respect, but I don't see that happening. These people just say what they want to say. The Bucks came back, and the next Wednesday they were making fun of CM Punk. This is before we even knew CM Punk was coming back. Well, this is just how they act, like a bunch of teenage kids.
So let me ask you then, MJF no showing that meet and greet and that signing, intentional part of storyline, or was that real and then later they turned it into a storyline?
Only Tony Khan and MJF will know. My gut tells me MJF went into business for himself, and Tony Khan had no choice but to go with it, because I don't believe that Tony Khan was in control of that situation. And even if this goes well, to me, for my money, the greatest work shoot of all time does involve CM Punk. It was the Money in the Bank pipe bomb, the famed pipe bomb, which the 1 week anniversary, the anniversary of the pipe bomb promo is coming up a week from today, the 27th. It's a great promo that we all love as wrestling fans. But if you follow the business of that storyline, it did not draw. If Money in the Bank pay-per-view did about 196,000 buy rates, and that was in the middle. There were 6 pay-per-views better than that year, 6 pay-per-views worse. It was literally the average number, and the TV ratings went down leading up to that. So there was not this transcendent interest. So even in the best version of a worked shoot, it doesn't draw that much money. We just think it does because we're hardcore fans. But I don't think this would draw money, especially, and you have to take into consideration that's the greatest version of a work shoot. I think if AEW tried to turn this into a work shoot, it would be a complete disaster. I don't even think they'd get to the finish line.
I mean, I wasn't watching wrestling at the time, and I saw a lot of people talking about that. It got me at least to check out what it was, what was going on. I think, earned media is a thing. Now, it doesn't always translate directly to ratings, but they did get a lot of earned media.
They got buzz. I got the text from my nephew that was like, I know you're not watching, but you got to check this out, and like, you find the CM Punk promo like the day after. Like, I feel like a lot of us that weren't watching did get reached out by those friends that were still watching. Like, you're going to love this crap, when the CM Punk pipe bomb happened.
And that definitely got
buzz within the hardcore wrestling community. There's just a ceiling for that type of buzz. It's not worth risking another legal issue for the Young Bucks and CM Punk. I don't want, like, it'll be great for me to watch because I know it's going to be a train wreck. Like, either way, CM Punk is flaming out of this company. But like, if you guys want to accelerate this with another work shoot in this company that we've seen time and again blows up in their face, by all means, look at what AEW All Access did. That show was based on backstage drama, and it
didn't do any
just as bad as Power Slap. All they had to do was do better than Power Slap, and they couldn't do that.
No, you didn't compare them to Power Slap. But you know what? I always say, and another thing is, like, a lot of people just go by these tweets, and it's like Twitter is like one of the lowest used social media. Like, you should at least go by YouTube or TikTok or even Facebook. Love it or hate it, it's still used by more people than Twitter. We are such a small circle of the people that actually watch, consume, and purchase this product. The people that are on Twitter, like, it's ridiculous that sometimes they cater to that audience when I'm like, that audience makes like 1% of the people that are watching you right now.
Small, no money in it either.
What were the ratings for Collision?
We have not.
They-
No, there was a holiday weekend, so we're gonna get them tomorrow morning, and I'm gonna wake up extra early to see what they do. Because
Are they come out in the morning, or they're gonna make us wait until 4 p.m.?
I think they're coming out in the morning because they were
Right.
supposed to come out today. I think typically they're going to come out the next Tuesday, but because there was a holiday, Happy Juneteenth, I think they're going to come out tomorrow morning. And I do think the number for this first show is going to do very well. I very much liked Collision. I liked CM Punk's promo. I loved the match between Andrade and Buddy Matthews. Not Buddy Murphy, and I love the set. I loved how it looked, and that the problem is going to be when they start getting preempted. That's my worry for Collision. Is once you take people out of that pattern of watching on a Saturday night, which is already tough, it's going to be very hard to get them right back. Because whenever this happens to Rampage, which actually did rebound this weekend, whenever this happens to Rampage, the ratings stay down for a while until they get back into their regular time slot for a couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
What else is in the news?
Well, we've got an update on ticket sales for AEW Collision, which is actually quite encouraging. They're not great. They're not gangbusters, but they are showing signs of life coming off this Saturday's debut. It looks like they're doing closer to 2,500 to 30 for some of their shows around the Canadian markets. They are starting to sell 4-for-1 deals at $1,650 each, so they are lowering ticket prices. Selling in packages. Yeah, 4-for-1 deals, 4 packs, as they call them. So the important thing is to fill this building up. If you're going to be on television,
you have to buy a burger or just a ticket.
Is there a 2-drink minimum?
I don't know whether or not you have to buy a hamburger, but we'll keep you updated on that. But then at least some people are going to be in the building, you know, because you just have to. You can't have. It is going to be very hard to hide the fact that there aren't people in the building if there's less than 1,000. Like if you get to that 1,000, 2,000 threshold, you can at least play tricks with the camera. But otherwise, it's going to be very tough for them.
That's good for them. Hopefully, they can keep it up.
That hamburger controversy was so funny.
I can't. I will never let it go. I cannot let it go. Like it got so ridiculous, and I could not stop reading the responses. People taking it seriously, not seriously, and I'm over here still making jokes about it. Like, I want to go.
But that is good news.
I was waiting for Glenn to tell me he had a free ticket to Double or Nothing offering his DoorDash or something. You know?
Let me tell you, Double or Nothing seat fillers were on some of the locals seat sites alongside.
Did they have them on the Facebook Marketplace?
No, I could have been a seat filler, or I could have gotten free tickets to the Jew Man group.
Oh,
what is that a thing?
Vegas. Yes, the Jew Man group is a thing, and I'm sure it's terrible.
Wow.
You still should have taken it just for the experience.
Yes. Like I could go see Carrot Top or the Jew Man group or some magicians you've never heard of, or I could have been a seat filler or Double or Nothing.
That's
See,
amazing.
now I'm intrigued, but I don't know if I can Google that. Like, I don't know if I can.
The Jew Man group?
The Jewish American group? Or, I don't know.
Oh, the Jew Man group. I mean, it's a parody of the Blue Man group.
Oh,
it's the Jew Man group, you know?
Are they still blue? What do they paint themselves
I don't know. I'm going to make jokes, but even as a Jew, it would probably come off pretty insensitive, some of the jokes I would make about this. Maybe I'll go watch that. Occasionally you see tickets to Puppetry of the Penis for free for the 18 and over. All the hottest acts in Vegas that you can see with your $99 a year subscription for up to 4 tickets.
Wow.
I have so many questions.
Yes. When you're out here. Okay, so here's the deal. When you guys are out here, we're like forget Donnie and Marie, forget Elton John. We're gonna go see the most beat, like wackiest free shit.
Yeah, we have to find. Yes,
Okay.
yes, we have to find like the. Oh my god, the content will be
we're gonna
incredible.
go see the worst shows in Vegas.
I can't wait.
We're gonna go see Carrot Top, the matinee show.
Can we
I
go
hear
to
good
the
things
place
about Carrot
with
Top.
the burgers, with the free tickets, and eat a burger?
Yes.
I'm sure they have a vegan. They have to have a vegan option.
No, and we're gonna go to White Castle for the vegan sliders, and we're all gonna get sick, and it's gonna be amazing.
Oh god, great.
It's gonna be great.
And then can we buy one of the giant drinks and walk
I
down
knew
the
she was
strip
gonna
with
go
it?
there. The yard of margarita.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's like oh my god, we need to plan this for real.
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna take you all. Forget the strip. Forget Fremont Street. I'm gonna take you to the locals casinos.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
you're
down
gonna
for
see
that.
how the locals live. Yeah, it's real. We're gonna go to Dottie's. It's gonna be real depressing. Us and 4 Keno machines.
Wow.
You know? Yeah. It's gonna be
Bingo.
a good time. Yeah. Not even bingo. Bingo's too high class. Keno.
Oh wow.
Keno's like bingo for degenerate gamblers. Yeah, it's good times in Vegas. Kelvin R. Alexander has a super chat, $5.
Calvin.
$5, which is the low stakes table limit off the strip. Although apparently, the Hooters Casino used to have $2 blackjack.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, that's shut down.
A lot of
now.
casinos used to have $2 blackjacks
Yeah.
way back in the day.
Yeah. Kelvin R. Alexander, $5 saying, hey, at least Tony Khan listened to his lawyers, unlike the Donald. Shots fired.
Wow.
Yeah.
Tony and Donald in the same sentence. We'll see if he listens to his lawyers. I don't think he'll be doing that if they try to run with the story. I bet you his lawyers will be advising against that. I'll tell you what.
Yes.
And here's the thing. There are gag orders. There are certain things they cannot say, which actually might help them because it'll force them to get a little creative and come up with fake reasons why these two people hate each other. But there are things that they cannot get into in terms of the storyline legally. So that's another hurdle if it just became a war.
Pay-per-view nights, when people can be in the same building at the same time, do we have somebody wrestle first and then like quickly escort them out of the building so we can bring in the other people? Like, I have a lot of questions about how the logistics of this works.
Here's what I want to see. Luther Campbell, Uncle Luke to the kids, back in the day, got sued by George Lucas because his original rap name was Luke Skywalker with two eyes. Yes. Then he got sued by Roy Orbison for doing a parody of Pretty Women. That went to the Supreme Court. He had the obscenity trial for As Nasty as They Want to Be. So Luke got a little scared. Luke was spending too much time in the courtroom. So Luke did a series of diss records on each album. There were like 5 parts. Each track was called I Ain't Bullshittin'. And Luke would try and throw shade at people. And it was just Luke talking over a beat for 5 minutes. But he'd be like, now I want to talk about some things you find on your table. Things like salt and pepper, or some kids that play. Like he was being very deliberate to not name anyone and then like going on to accuse them of all sorts of crazy shit.
So like the original Trapped in the Closet.
Yeah, but that's what I want these CM Punk promos to be. Now I want to talk about a game that you play with letters where there's a man who's hanging, and whenever you get a letter wrong, the man hangs further.
Hangman.
He's like, I ain't saying no names. I ain't saying no names.
It's funny you bring him up because he started all of this, technically speaking.
Yeah.
CM Punk's biggest fear, Hangman Page.
Now I want to talk about Michael J. Fox for a minute. He's just going to code everything. It's going to be amazing.
A rapper from G Unit, Young Buck. Singular, not plural.
No, singular. Now, do you think if CM Punk ever gets out of pocket at another press conference, they'll just have Hangman Adam Page walk into the room and just stand there like this, and he'll automatically, because he's so terrified of him, according to that ESPN interview.
I don't think they let him anywhere near a press conference.
I think Tony Khan invites Nick Hausman to every press conference, and when CM Punk gets itchy, Tony calls on Nick because he's like, "That's the reminder." That's the reminder.
That's also it's all Nick Hausman and Hangman Page's fault.
Isn't it incredible that Nick Hausman is partially responsible for all of this?
He will forever be connected to this.
He triggered CM Punk just by his mere presence and asking a question.
He kind of triggered Roman Reigns too at WrestleMania.
Yeah, that was pretty impressive.
That's what he does.
Nick Hausman is the most dangerous man in all of professional wrestling.
He is, and whether or not Nick Hausman asked that question, CM Punk had something ready for Nick Hausman. He was ready
he was waiting
to talk about Nick Hausman. So like, it's not like Nick was like looking for any trouble.
If you're in wrestling media and you're from Chicago, you're in danger.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, the only one is Nick Hausman, so he took all the heat.
Do you think CM Punk went to an improv group once and had a bad experience, so that's why he's triggered at the thought of improv?
I couldn't see CM Punk doing improv. I think he's too much of an independent spirit. He would just end up
independent spirit. Oh my god, I love that.
He wouldn't play on the team.
What else is in the news?
That's the
Nothing.
news.
We're ready for NXT talk, baby.
CM Punk's improv debut next week. Breaking story.
Be like, okay, I'm gonna do this promo, but first I need a location, I need an occupation,
location,
and I
Backstage
need
in Chicago.
Okay, that's good. Now I need an occupation,
lawyer,
and now I need a scenario. A lawyer's backstage in Chicago.
A lawyer backstage texting you back that you can't contact people. I'm gonna hire a lawyer to respond to all my text messages like that, honestly.
Oh my God. So tonight, NXT Gold Rush,
Yes.
19 minutes and 39 seconds in the show. For the people marking it down.
We
Saying, "Maybe let's
haven't we
start talking
haven't
about the
been
show."
together in a while. You know,
I know it's been a minute.
We had to get it out of our system.
Yes. So tonight, part 1 NXT Gold Rush. The Gold Rush was on tonight. Wesley defending the North American Championship against Tyler Bate with special guest referee Mustafa Ali.
Yep.
Mustafa looking great in that ref shirt.
Yeah, he
got
did.
his
His
guns
arms were kind of swole.
He
Like
is
he was looking
jacked.
good. Yeah,
You
I
think of
said
him
that.
as a smaller, kind of lean cruiserweight, but he was looking pretty decent tonight.
He was
Pretty
shredded.
buff.
He's got his beach body.
Yeah, he was looking good. It still should have been a triple threat.
He'll get there. He'll get there.
Yeah, but Wesley retained tonight. Good opening match. I think that Wes is on fire. Like Wes ain't losing that title anytime soon.
Yeah, well, let's see. I very much like this opener. I expected actually more out of it. I had very high expectations, and I'm not saying I'm disappointed by it, but it didn't go as long as I thought it would. And the finish was kind of weird, but they're obviously involving Mustafa Ali in this as he's finessing both of these guys. I just thought it was weird how he just went to each of them and like slapped them in the face, and then it
I
was
love
just over.
that.
It was a
I
clean
wish-
finish after that.
I wish all referees were like that. Like, what are you doing? Get back in the ring. I don't want to count you out. You get up and fight. Don't you want to win the title? That's how I would want my referee to be.
Well, Aubrey Edwards just wrestled in the tank top, slapping people in the face. So maybe this is a trend.
All right, sure.
Ali was good tonight, though. I think that he reffed it, but yeah, he added a lot to the match. I mean, look, Tyler Bate, Wes are great competitors. There just was no all these guys are friends. There was no. This was one of those like.
Yeah,
who's
but
the
I felt
better-
invested. And we'll get into it later. I did feel invested here just because I knew we were gonna get a banger, and I knew that Ali was gonna try to do something because I don't feel like the story's done here. Where with other things tonight, as good as the wrestling was, I just could care less. So at least there was some kind of like I felt a little bit more invested into this match.
It was a good opener, though. Oh, Calvin, $2 super chat saying Ali's reffing was kind of sus.
Kind
No,
of
it
sus.
wasn't. No, it wasn't. He just learned in a week. I thought he was great.
I don't trust this Ali. Wesley, hold on to your title for dear life, brother.
He's coming for it, bro.
It's gonna be a great match, but Wes is retaining.
He did try to fast count at one point. I was like,
Yeah.
My favorite was the end though, when Wesley's on the outside, he's counting it out, and then he just comes out and like throws him in the ring himself.
And by the end of this
He
match,
was-
they were definitely telling the story that there's going to be tension. Like Wes and Tyler Bate both had this look on their face, like, what's with
Yeah,
this
they
guy?
were so confused by Ali, and Ali's just celebrating. I think the triple threat is coming.
Mhm.
Absolutely. And then we went from that to Duke Hudson hosting a pep rally for Thea Hale.
Thea
This
Hale
was
is
too
so
wholesome.
great. It's crazy because, like, I knew this, but then you hear it, and it's even more impressive that she has not even attended a day of college. Like, she just graduated high school, and she's more poised and mature in terms of cutting promos in front of a live crowd than just about anybody in this territory.
Charlie Dempsey and Drew Gulak saying, "Wait, she just graduated high school."
Yeah.
Like I pop for that. I like seeing Duke Hudson be so supportive, and like kind of like it felt like a pep rally. It really did. The people in the crowd really helped it, and I just love everything she had to say. She was a little annoyingly hyped up, but we got used to that. We learned to love her just this way. I enjoyed this segment. I will say, I don't know that it did a lot for Tiffany Stratton.
Yeah,
And
Tiffany
that's
interrupting.
strike two of Tiffany Stratton coming out and trying to cut a promo. But this time they really, and I get it. I mean, we know wrestling 101, right? If she tapped or did all that today, that means that Tia's not winning, obviously.
Yeah.
But they really did not help her here at all tonight.
Do you think Tiffany Stratton was the original plan? I mean, they had to. I mean, okay, so back when Mandy Rose was champion, everything since then has been a little on the fly, right? But
Right.
Roxanne Perez, I mean, that was short-lived in the grand scheme of things. That was
Mhm.
them calling an audible. Indy Hartwell winning was a very pleasant surprise. I mean, I feel like they're kind of trying on champions right now to see which one's going to fit for
Right.
the long run because they don't have a plan. And maybe the plan originally, I know you guys think I'm going to say this, but I think maybe Nikita Lyons was the original plan.
I was waiting. I knew we were gonna get there. We took a couple, detours, but I knew that's where we were going with this, Glenn.
But now I think they're trying some different things. And I say with Tiffany Stratton, Tiffany's very good at what she does, but in this role, it's tough. I think she's letting the belt still do too much of the talking.
I did think she was better than, it's a low bar, but I did think she was much improved in what she did. I don't think it was anything special. And I do think this was part of the plan, especially when they got to Tiffany Stratton, because it was part of a tournament. And I think they had that all worked out, that she was going to win this tournament. They were going to really put her over. She just needs some more ring time. I see the potential. It's not like an unsolvable problem. She just needs to keep going out there cutting promos, and they need to do more with her. And
it's the promo. The promos are the problem. It's not a wrestling. Yeah. It's not her character. It's the promos.
Yeah, she still needs some ring time too, because she's only been doing it for a couple of years. But everything involved with being a pro wrestler and a champion and whatnot, as long as she gets the reps, there's no doubt in my mind that she's going to catch on.
Calvin, $5 super chat saying Thea Hale is a gem, so talented. Tiffany was better this week and her healing was much improved. I liked it tonight, but yeah, her attacking in the ring, Thea standing tall, Tiffany's retaining with this. But watching all this, I think Thea would be a pretty good champ because she's an excellent promo.
Yeah, I thought her asking for permission to say ass whooping was cute.
And she said she knew Andre Chase was watching at home.
And she tried to make us all feel old by saying that she didn't understand the Statler and Waldorf reference. Do you not watch the Muppets? Come on. Who doesn't watch the Muppets? If you're in the wrestling business, you need to watch the Muppets. It's very similar.
Yeah, wrestling is basically the Muppet Show. Like all WWE programming is the Muppet Show.
Very much so.
Yes. Yeah, I think that the more Thea talks and the more we see of Thea, the more I'm convinced she could hold this down as champ.
I mean, the in-ring is going to be the question, and that's only because she's so young and so inexperienced and whatnot. You could say the same thing about Tiffany Stratton. It would be a monster pop if she did win as an underdog, and I think it would be fun. But I really think they should give Tiffany Stratton a run. She's going to be one of their big stars, as is Thea, but you don't want to cut her off at the legs this early into a world title
it's
run
tough.
that she won in a tournament.
But okay, so let me ask you, based on mix of promo and in-ring ability, who should the NXT Women's Champion be?
Tiffany Stratton.
Out of the entire roster, you think she has the best mix of promo and
out of everybody
ability?
Healthy right now? I mean, I like Roxanne Perez as champion, but I don't think she needs that belt. So I think Tiffany Stratton, especially if you factor in the fact that I think Tiffany does need the belt to gain some legitimacy.
Yeah.
So I have no problem with it.
I've been pulling for Tiffany since day one on this, but I'm just saying I don't know that she's the best mix. I think they cooled Gigi a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I think Gigi could have held it down. But story-wise, even with what we saw tonight, like...
It looked like an emo girl Instagram reel.
Yeah, and I didn't like how this was written.
It did. I seen that reel a million times of a sad girl walking in front of some kind of graffiti mural.
That said crack is whack. I mean, it is. I'm not pro crack, but I'm just saying like that was...
Tell me you haven't seen that reel in your feed at least once. Okay, thank you.
I have.
She's becoming like Gigi Platitude, like just cliche after cliche after cliche.
Yeah, it's just not cute.
Yeah.
Cool. You found some, and I think who said like you call that art? Like somebody said that too, and I was like, yeah.
Well,
but
you know,
Kiana James. Yeah.
But you know what's missing on my bingo card? He said there was nothing of her posing in front of angel wings. Like an angel.
Oh man, you're right. That's a big miss.
Yeah.
They're saving that one for later.
Yeah.
You should make a bingo
I don't know.
card.
I feel like the angel wings are more for your girly girl, where this was giving me more emo girl. There's two different kinds of, and those kind of girls go to different murals. The emo girl doesn't go to the angel wings. They don't.
It's just I can imagine them driving around Orlando,
finding the crack is whack.
Yeah, it's like that's the best mural they could find for her character.
It's Orlando. Yes, it is.
Yeah, exactly. I'm glad I saw it.
Have you been to Orlando?
All our listeners in Orlando, go post your selfies in front of the crack is whack.
The only thing he was missing was her wearing some freaking Mickey Mouse ears, and then it's like, yeah, Orlando.
Oh man. And then Thea Hale's response, like, Or not Thea Hill. Pardon me. No, what's her name?
Kiana James.
Kiana James. Sorry.
Kiana James. I love that
Kiana
when she
James.
was like, "You called that art?" I pop for that. Too.
And she's like, "I'm a lot like Gigi. Don't tell us you're a lot like Gigi. You want to be the opposite of Gigi."
Yeah, please.
But I'm like, I like colorful things too. Like when I was, what? That's a character trait. Likes colorful things.
It is.
Issa, how do you feel about colorful things?
It's not my thing. I'm more of a black person, so I like.
Oh,
Black.
you are. You should have come to the
Yeah.
Juneteenth party last night.
You didn't invite me. You didn't invite me.
Kiana James should be buying her house and turning it into an Airbnb, her childhood house, and
Or washing away all that art.
Yeah, okay. So Joe Gacy shoot out the dyad
For no
It's
reason
just-
whatsoever.
but this though they're gonna be stronger after the last weekend, and then Ava, like, just split Ava and
4
Joe.
roots, 1 tree, Glenn.
Yes.
1 tree hill. 4 roots. This made no sense, but it was there.
Yeah.
So we're getting a dyad split. It seems kind of soon for this.
I mean, they're leaving in October. They gotta start doing something about
You
it.
gotta start writing them out of here.
Yeah.
They're veterans, yet they're grizzled and young.
Nothing makes sense. Crack is whack.
Oh man. Having a contact lens issue.
Oh no, you okay?
Yeah, it's fine. Feels like it's.
Do you take it off, or do you have like 27
in
of them in there, like that lady one time?
No.
You ever watch that though? She had 27 contact lenses in her eye.
Oh.
And didn't. Yeah,
How
she
could
went
you
to the
blink?
eye. She went to the eye doctor because her eye was bothering her, and she kept on forgetting to take them off, so she kept putting new
Oh,
ones on the
God.
next day. I'll send you guys the video.
I don't need to see that.
Very soon.
So Brooks and Dunn versus Idris Snowfay and Malik Blade versus
Oh man, this is what I was talking about.
yes
Pleasant surprise. I'm glad.
versus
What?
the Wanker twins.
The Waker.
In a
You
triple threat.
finally said it before I did.
Hank Walker and Tank Ledger.
I don't like the new gear. I would think they should both dress more like Tank, not Hank. They now
Yeah.
Tank is dressing like a security guard. I don't like it.
Yeah. Yeah. Number 1 contender for the NXT Tag Team Championship. This was a really good match.
It was. I had
And-
no problem with it.
Idris Snowfay and Malik Blade won.
Hell yeah.
You cared about this match?
That was fine. This tag team feud has grown on me just because I just thought it was so funny how every team thought that they would get closer by fighting each other, and now they're fighting each other the proper way. And I've come around on
Right.
this feud, and I'm happy for Idris and Malik Blade.
I think because I'm so invested into thinking the Stacks and Tony D will be the ones to
Yes.
dethrone
Oh,
the,
yeah.
the rats that are gallus. It's like, what are we having this triple threat for? None of them are going to beat them. This is Tony and
Right.
Stacks' job to do. So
we gotta go-
maybe that's why I felt a little disconnected from this match, but I was just like, I don't care. I don't care who wins because this isn't their time. It's Tony D and Stacks' time.
I think that
But it was a great match. Fun match for sure.
I think that the Hank Wankers and Brooks and Dunn and Gallus should have like a Crisis on Infinite Earths style battle royal, and only 2 get to remain. And now I'm not saying the 2 teams, I'm saying only 2 individuals get to remain, and they
Wow.
inherit all the gimmicks. Because all 3 of
I
these
love
teams,
that.
and you know what? Let's throw in the Creed brothers also. All 4 of these teams are roughly interchangeable, and I
One
really
of the
don't
Creed
care.
brothers tonight was looking like Clark Kent.
But all of them have like all of their gimmicks are, we like to throw down and fight, and we're good wrestlers. Like just 2 of you get to remain, and the other 6 have to go back and get a new gimmick.
Yeah, they need to flesh these out a little more. But I don't hate that idea, just in general, of like a tag team battle royal, and the last 2 have to be a tag team.
Yeah. Because it should be, and the right team won tonight with Blade and Enofe. But I do think Stacks taking out one of the Coffee brothers tonight in the parking lot. Still dangerous in that
Yes.
parking lot.
Always.
You heard what he was saying on the phone? He was trying to call an establishment, and they said the establishment was full of rats.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because
What's up? What's up, coffee boy?
Tony D needs to break out of prison, and they need to win those belts.
Do you see that Tony D tweeted that he would like to meet Dominic after when he gets out?
It's good. They can. Well, you can't associate with known felons. It's a condition of your parole. You know.
You just have to tell everybody. Yeah, exactly. Just do it behind the scenes. They have to do something with him and Dominic. It can't just be a Twitter
Nobody
thing.
follows their parole, Glenn. Glenn, you're such a good guy.
They need to put him on house arrest. He needs to wrestle on an ankle bracelet.
Yo, I will pop for that. And you can visually see it, or he starts beeping because he's not home at 10 p.m.
No, like the condition of his parole should be that he can't go out of the ring. He has to he lists his address as the ring. So he gets thrown out of the ring and then starts beeping, and he keeps diving back in, or else he's gonna get taken back to jail.
What if he's going to win the titles? It's like 1, 2, beep, beep, beep. Oh no, he's got to be home. He can't win.
No.
Something, man. Something. So
free the Dunn.
Yes.
Free the Dunn.
But good for Idris and Malik. Congrats to them. And then we had backstage Damon Kemp and Eddie Thorpe. And Kemp tells Thorpe we're bringing back Raw Underground in 2 weeks.
I can't wait.
So I didn't think there was a way I could love Damon Kemp more, but him bringing back Raw Underground, let's go. Let's go.
Random.
It's not random. It's right.
It is right.
They have to have at least one element from I wouldn't be mad at Omos being there to let them in with the velvet rope or whatnot. They can't just do Raw Underground with no Shane, no dancers, and no Omos. We need one nostalgic comfort food from that era.
Okay, this is in 2 weeks. I'm busy next week. Oh man, the week of 4th of July. WWE, if you get me tickets to the Raw Underground match and I can be in the audience, I will fly to Florida on my own dime.
Wow.
To be there for that match.
Bro, I'll do it too.
Yeah.
I'll go with you.
We'll all be there if you guys.
And I'll take a picture in front of the Crack is Wax sign.
And I'll wave handfuls of ones like I'm betting on the match.
Instead of doing all the Orlando touristic things, we'll be the ones looking for the Crack is Wax.
Gonna make it happen.
You got to go to play some Keno, Glenn. Get some ones, save those ones for about 2 weeks, and then throw them out there. I like it.
Oh, it's gonna be good times. Good times of Raw Underground.
Great times.
Everybody, you need to tune into NXT. And I know it's a holiday week. I know that's normally bad for the ratings, but I need you all to tune in. This needs to pop. Biggest rating NXT has ever seen, so we can get Raw Underground back as its own show.
Yeah.
Oh, it's going to be good. I was thinking about taking the 4th of July off, but now, America's birthday, sure, that's great, that's good, but Raw Underground is now the biggest thing happening on 4th of July. Forget the fireworks.
Yeah.
Forget celebration of freedom. Celebrating Raw Underground here, July 4th on the Wrestling Inc. podcast.
I mean, it feels like the right thing to do to celebrate America. Bring back Raw Underground.
I pledge allegiance to Shane McMahon.
Have since day one.
Get well soon, Shane.
I hope he's okay.
He better be back for this. I don't care if he's out there with a walker or in a wheelchair or on a rascal scooter.
He doesn't need to walk. He just sit down and do it. It's fine.
A scooter.
The scooter.
Do you remember how awesome his intro was the first week? Explaining Raw Underground.
I still have the
energy.
Screenshot.
Raw Underground was epic. Raw Underground was epic. I don't care what anybody says.
I enjoyed it. It was ironic, but I had a good time with it. I only have fond memories of Raw Underground. You're not going to front on me like that.
What's your favorite Raw Underground moment, Alfred?
When Bobby Lashley wrecked everybody, that's when I was
like, that was so good.
This guy needs to be champion. When I saw that, I was like, oh my God, this guy. And then eventually they did make him champion. But that's the thing about Raw Underground. It kind of revived the career of Bobby Lashley because they didn't know what to do with him. So they stuck him underground and he looked like a complete badass.
Yeah.
I think that Shane O'Mac's energy, introing Raw Underground, just trying to get everyone to feel the excitement he felt for the show. That was my favorite thing about Raw Underground. There were dancers.
Mine was the dancers.
There were dancers like the Fly Girls from A Living Color.
Yep. Yeah.
But did they have choreography? No, we can't afford that.
No.
It's WWE. but there were dancers.
If they can get us tickets, I'll both.
I will go.
I'll be a dancer.
I will take a Greyhound bus if I have to, which
Oh
seems
God,
appropriate
Glenn,
to
stop,
go to Raw
relax.
Underground.
It would take like 5 days from where you're
That's
at.
true. It's true. Kelvin R. Alexander, $5 super chat. I don't trust them Stevenson boys, and he needs to watch his back. That's right. Gable Stevenson showed up today.
Yeah, he's alive.
Yeah. Gable Stevenson sighting.
I thought we weren't gonna see him for a while. That's what I was told on Twitter.
Yeah, he saw that chatter from the wrestling gossip websites, and he said, "Well, I'll pull up. I'll show you guys where I'm at."
Roxanne Perez was pulled away from Blair Davenport after blindsiding
That was
her
so
backstage.
funny.
I love this because Roxanne was walking. They're doing something else. Like, I think it was a Gable Steve.
Yeah.
The
Yeah, it
Stephen
was
Kevin-
with Eddie, and you
and
can
you
see
could
her
in the
walking.
background. And wherever she was going, you could tell it was on site because she was like storming somewhere.
Yeah.
They got to it.
I was like, I don't care what they're talking about anymore. Follow her, and literally we
Yeah.
hear the noises. It was very well done.
Yeah. And then Cora Jade versus Dana Brooke.
Oh my God.
Poor Dana. I mean, every main roster star gets treated like a hero, but for whatever reason, they don't want anything to do with Dana. They were cheering for Cora Jade, who's the obvious heel in the storyline.
Well, the way she was favoring the knee, the idea even said referee stoppage. When is the last time we had referee stoppage in a match?
Yeah.
I mean, Dana came across massive babyface, didn't tap out, kept
No,
going,
she
worked through the
didn't.
pain.
She should have just let them take her in the stretcher.
No, because
She
got
did
the
all
heart
that
of a
to
lion.
lose. No, you just like making the injury worse for nothing. You didn't even get the win.
What I'm trying to figure out, Alfred, you have access to talent. Why aren't you interviewing Dana Brooke for Forbes and
I
asking
have.
her why did she stop doing the front flip in the entrance?
That would be a great question. Maybe I'll reach out. She does follow me on Twitter, so I'll reach out to her and see if we can
I
get that
interviewed
from-
her like a
for
few
you.
months ago, and I didn't ask that. I
Yeah,
apologize, Glenn.
I never do the journalism for Wrestling Inc. I'd be like, I want to interview Dana Brooke, and I'm just going to be like,
I
so Dana,
did.
why'd
I
you stop
got
doing the
her.
front flip?
I got her not too long ago, and I completely missed to ask her that.
And she's going to answer the question, and then I'm going to say, okay, thank you for your time. The interview is over.
That's my only question.
My only question. All I wanted to know.
Follow-up question. Can you bring back the front flip?
Can you bring it back, please?
I did. I just didn't like. I get that what they're going for, massive baby face, but the whole thing was confusing. It seemed like a legit injury. Then you're like, yeah, it's not legit. Then she kind of like nursed it when she remembered. Like it just got messy. And for a ref stoppage, I don't know.
The ref stoppage was crazy. We never see that.
See it all the time.
When's the last time there was a ref stoppage in NXT?
It wasn't
Yep.
not too long ago.
Yeah, I want to say there was a match that had a ref stoppage, and I can't remember. I feel like it was
Yeah.
a main
Yeah.
event too.
Mm-hmm.
It's rare in the grand scheme of things. It's like the roulette wheel landing on the single or double zero.
Oh yeah, but it doesn't that feel good when you got chips on that 00 and it lands?
Yeah, not
Oh.
if you're on red or black. Don't feel good.
Oh no, obviously not. But if you happen to win,
Well,
it's
yes. I mean,
mesmerizing.
spoiler alert for people: winning in a casino feels much better than losing.
I'm not. I'm specifically talking about when it lands on. If it lands on red or black, it's a 50-50 and you just keep pushing. But if you pick those 00s and it lands, that's heaven sent.
So the other night I'm playing Hold'em at the casino against the dealer, not like in the card room.
Yeah.
And I decided to play a pair of twos in Hold'em. Now, pair of twos, you're going to get beaten easily. And I was like, oh,
Yeah.
the dealer's going to have a pair of jacks, pair of aces, pair of sevens, whatever. I'm going to get beaten.
Yeah, shit.
No, dealer had a pair of threes. And that hurt. That hurt the worst.
Damn.
Yeah.
Insult to injury. Kelvin R. Alexander, $2.
There it
At
is.
least Dana ain't looking like no punk tonight.
Yeah, that's a good point. I just didn't think it also did a lot of favors either.
Chris in the chat note that R-Truth was injured ref stoppage, but that was a legit injury. Get well soon, R-Truth.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Wesley and Tony D, but that was also a legit injury.
That's what I mean. As a work, a ref stoppage, like, and the ref stoppage happened at what felt like the end of the match.
Mhm.
Like, this was a conscious decision in booking. This wasn't an improvisation. This wasn't an on the fly call. This happened.
All right. So if you're a ref, you see that they're taking her on a stretcher, and then you let her wrestle for another 15 minutes, and then you go, okay, that's enough.
You go. maybe I should stop this.
Yeah, like it doesn't make sense really.
So,
Glenn's interview style is this could have been an email.
I will come up with more questions to ask Dana Brooke.
Okay.
Although I feel bad because my real questions I want to ask Dana Brooke is like, so give me your perspective on, you've been in the company, you've had pushes, you've been associated with people like Charlotte. What do you think has held you back from going to the next level, where it seems like all of your peers, everyone you were in NXT with, who has been along with you on this ride, champions. Actually,
God, are you trying to make her cry?
No, but I really want to know because but I'll put her over and mention she's incredibly talented. She's a great promo.
You're gonna put her over like that video package did last week, and then they did this to her this week.
But that's the point. Like, you look at that video package, she's like, she's had this. I mean, I don't want to say she's been like the Forrest Gump of WWE, but she's been around and been involved in all this greatness. But where's Dana's turn? When does she get that real push and real shot?
She should turn heel and she should align with Tiffany Stratton. I think she'd be perfect for Tiffany Stratton.
Mm-hmm.
I think that'd be great. Or I think she'd be great as a coach for Thea Hale.
Sure, yeah.
You know, align with Chase. But what I'm saying is, I'm thinking about this now. Emma's the only person from that group.
Look, she's an ex-felon. Like, you don't want to put the title on her.
But Emma and Dominic, can Emma and Dominic be on the same show?
Yeah, all these felons in wrestling. I'm with it.
It wasn't there were no charges. It was a misdemeanor.
Good. Just being funny.
That's what's funny about it. It's a felon.
It's like the burger, okay, Glenn? I say sarcastic things.
She was using a self-checkout, and I guess it didn't check her out correctly, and she just left.
She needs to do life in prison for that.
But yeah, Dana came up after Bailey, was paired with Charlotte. I mean, she's from that bridge generation, but then Carmella, Asuka. Like, if you look at the women called up around that time, yeah, she's not had the spectacular go of it that all her peers did. And I don't think
high on her at the beginning.
Yes, very high.
I appreciate you reminding me of when she dressed up as Ric Flair. I forgot about that time.
I did too. I still
When he mentioned her with Charlotte, that's the first thing that came to my mind. Her coming out as Ric Flair with the wig and everything.
Playtime is over was a very, very good catchphrase. And when she was doing the hun and patting people on the head, really, I just liked her because she reminded me of Paige Michaelchuk from Degrassi: The Next Generation. It was really the same gimmick, being condescending and calling all the other women hun. It's good. Good times.
That's great, hun.
Yes. Okay. Anyhow, then that's our segment of the week discussing the career of Dana Brooke. Maybe I should never interview her. This could just really go off the rails.
We should have her on this podcast.
It could really go some places that she's probably not prepared for it to go.
Okay. Look forward to this interview.
I think we should have her on and we each take turns asking a version of why don't you do the front flip anymore? Like, it doesn't have to be that, but it's like, well, you did gymnastics, right? Okay, so
I actually kind of want the history. I could do an entire hour-long interview about the front flip.
She's fun to talk to. She's a good interview.
Yeah, it would be like, every time you do it, do you think you are going to eat concrete with your face? Because I would think that every time I did it. And then doing that would probably make me eat concrete with my face.
The TLD in the chat said, "Felons of Wrestling." I'm buying that ticket. That sounds like a pay-per-view that's gonna go very wrong, like
that's
Legends of Wrestling. Yeah.
That is a promotion.
They could steal Nick Gage away from GCW.
Oh my God. You know what? If this were 25 years ago, that would be like the heir apparent to ECW.
Oh yeah.
And like, you would do it in a prison yard and everybody would start their interview. It would be like intro of who it is. And they would talk about it would give the rap sheet.
And
like,
they wrestle in orange jumpsuits.
Yes. They come out in chains. They have to get uncut. Oh my God. Like, Fox would have done this as a special.
Shout
You
out
know,
to Dominic Mysterio's WrestleMania entrance. Still,
yeah. And you say
So
what
that went
prison they
hard.
came from. You don't say where they're from.
Yeah.
Like, not like from Colorado. It's like from San Quentin.
And they would have
I like
hired.
that idea.
They would have hired like some weird like who would the warden have been if this was 1997? Who would they have hired to play the
Big
warden?
Boss Man.
Big Boss Man. Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Yeah, I would think that if it was Fox, it would have been like, we got Daryl Gates to be the warden of this imaginary prison.
Oh my god.
Remember, this is Fox that did celebrity boxing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Vanilla Ice versus Todd Bridges. That was like the opening match on celebrity boxing.
A banger.
Okay. Yes. Cora Jade versus Dana Brooke. Ref stoppage. Cora Jade won. Cora Jade, that barbed wire gear again. Incredible.
It's my favorite thing. New Jack as warden.
Oh, love that. R.I.P. New Jack. That'd be perfect. He'd be their top guy, actually.
Finally, we had Von Wagner open up to Mr.
Oh my
Stone.
god. This was heavy.
Something's happening with. Listen, we make a lot of fun of Von Wagner. Just like I said with LA Knight, there's something going on with this Von Wagner. I think this is going to get over.
Well, it's the storyline. I think Von is very talented, and when he was yeeting people out of the ring,
Oh, that was my
months
favorite.
ago,
And he's filled with Solo Sikoa slapped.
yeah, he had tremendous momentum. But they've been building up this reveal, and I think that based on the photo, we had some ideas. But it was a very touching story tonight about his battle with trichinocephaly as a baby. And the skull surgery he had to have, and this was just incredibly moving. I wish they would have gotten to this sooner, because I think that now is the turning point in his story. Now that he's opened up, and we know a bit more of what he's been through.
And I've heard a lot, even on this podcast. I might have made a couple of jokes about his head, not knowing any of this stuff. So if they would have done this earlier, then
Alfred,
maybe we don't make these jokes.
Your ass is getting canceled.
No. I'm saying that I made these jokes before I even knew about this. Had I known about something like this, and I think
I know what you're saying. I haven't made jokes about his head, but I don't think that you understand that we live in an era where 5 years from now somebody will dig up this clip and try to cancel you for it. That's really how it works now.
Spell my name right. This is nasty. Just spell my name right. That's all I ask.
I said he looked like ZZ from Tough Enough got exposed to gamma radiation.
Oh my goodness.
More because he was like all jacked and yoked.
Canceled.
Right, well, I'm canceled. Now I'm not making fun of his condition. I'm making fun because I'm canceled because I compared him to ZZ from Tough Enough. But which, in some circles is the worst insult there is. But no, look, I think Vaughn, this was very good to humanize him, but I think they might have built this up not too much, but too long. This did humanize him. We didn't need the build to humanize. Like, he could have cut this promo week 1. And we would have been like, that's very humanizing, and I want to see Vaughn succeed, knowing the adversity he's overcome.
But they had to make you care about the picture. And maybe I agree, Glenn, they did take too long to get to it, but they at least made you care. At the time that they explained it, I was still wondering what this was about, because week after week, they're explaining that there's something up with this picture.
So he opened up. I guess he opened up to that therapist, and that relaxed him enough to open up to Mr. Stone.
I don't think he's going to therapy anymore. I think Mr. Stone is now his therapist.
I thought he was dating the therapist.
Do we even know who the therapist is?
I was hoping they were going to make it like a whole universe about that. The therapist would become a television character, and there'll be like a state.
Probably a better help therapist, and they just text back and forth.
At least it was in person.
Not sponsored, by the way.
Yeah, never going to be sponsored after this.
Not now.
Yeah. But this was good. Look forward to seeing where his story goes next. Carmelo Hayes and Baron Corbin.
Oh, I love this so much.
Faced off in the ring tonight.
It's great.
Great. This was epic. I thought both guys had such a good back and forth. The flexing on each other that they were doing. I'm hyped for their match, but I thought they killed them, both of them. And where has this Baron Corbin been, like, ever?
Well, that's the thing. They've done such a number on Baron Corbin and made him into such a joke that, like, you can only get so excited for a match like this. Yes, the promo was
Right.
good, but it's like Baron's not. Well, who knows what's going to happen? But I don't think Baron's winning this match.
What do you think the mortgage is on his $1.8 million house?
Oh my god.
Paid off.
Oh really?
Yeah, he was flexing on him.
He's got it like that.
He's talked about a stock portfolio before. I think he made some very good investments in the recession.
I love that today was a good day line, man.
Yeah.
And I love how Carmelo Hayes hit him with that 26. He was getting kicked out of the NFL. I'm over here really winning championships. Like, it was good. It was really, really good.
I enjoyed this.
Made you like both of them. I thought both of them walked out of this looking great.
Exactly.
I mean, Corbin's not winning that championship.
How do you know? Okay, how do you know?
Yeah, you
In
never
my
know.
best
You never know
Andrade
what
voice. In my best Andrade voice. Okay, how do you know?
I mean, that'd be a bold move if they do that.
If he hits the end of days
Carmelo.
and he hits it just right, nobody
Shit,
but
do you
Drew
think Carmelo?
McIntyre.
Yeah, Carmelo's going to kick out of the end of days.
No, he's not.
Ooh,
And
yeah,
Drew
at
McIntyre
one.
should have never, ever kicked out of the end of days. Nobody should kicked out of that move. If he's gonna. Oh, by the way, did you see that Sami Zayn finally won a match with the Blue Thunder Bomb?
What?
Yeah, good
Yeah.
Holy shit!
I
when
know.
was that on Raw last night?
That was like no, that was
It was
recently.
like 2
that was on
weeks ago.
SmackDown.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
But he has that other move, Baron Corbin. What is it? Not the end of days. He has another move that looks really good. You know what? Oh, the Deep Six or something like that? I don't know.
Oh,
Deep
yeah,
Six.
Yeah. So if he's not gonna win, then don't hit the end of days. Try with the Deep Six. Like, do not. I know I say it every week, but I'm still mad that Drew McIntyre got to kick out.
Okay. Well, the first time, here's my bet. Here's my prop bet I'm going to place. First time he goes for it, Carmelo's gonna slink out of it.
Yeah,
Not let him
counted
get
it
it
or
in.
something, but don't let him hit it or don't give a kick out.
I
Because
think he's going to do a kick out.
nobody remembers that match at WrestleMania. So nobody remembers, did it really happen? It didn't. So technically speaking, nobody has kicked out at the end of days.
I'm going down to the sports book. I'm going to place my prop bet for Baron Corbin versus Carmelo Hayes. And they're going to say, sir, this is scripted. And I'm like, I don't care.
You can bet on it.
You
In
get
some
good odds
places
on
you
Baron
can.
Corbin.
Yeah.
If he wins,
I don't
that's a
think-
lot of money.
Most
Yeah, it
sports
is.
books don't. Most sports books don't take risks.
You're in Vegas, though. Go to one of the ones that find one
Yeah.
that has a mural on the outside that says "Crack is whack," and I guarantee you, you walk into that casino, they'll let you bet on
That's not a
wrestling.
sports book. That's just a bookie.
Yeah. And then you go back the next day and there's nobody there. And you lost all your
Yeah.
money.
And like, did I imagine this? Like, you know? Yeah, it'd be good times. I love this promo. Corbin's getting his energy
Momentum.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. This is nice. Nice to see.
He just had a purpose on this promo. We seen him just be there by default. Where here he feels like he has a purpose. I liked it.
Yeah.
I thought it was great.
Yes.
But Carmelo Hayes brought up the Happy Corbin thing. I thought that was funny too.
Yeah. Soft spot, a sore spot.
And he
Yeah.
quoted
This is
Ice
good. This
Cube-
is actually really good. I like
quoted
this a
Ice
lot.
Cube.
Yeah. And then Corbin said that he don't miss, and I was like, ooh. I mean, it was great. Again, because we lost credibility on Corbin, I can see some people not liking it, but I love this back and forth. I thought it was excellently done. It was such a fun segment. Last night they did it on Raw with that Money in the Bank segment. I thought that segment was so much
great.
fun. I thought this one was a great segment too.
Then the metaphor. Get it? Like metaphor. Went down to the ring for Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson versus Valentina Feroz and Yulissa Leon.
Guys, Lash Legend got a
If my-
win on TV. Ah!
Yeah. This is good. Listen, I know a lot of the internet wrestling people were expecting this to be like a disaster. This was just fine. I was very impressed by Jakara Jackson. I thought everybody did fine in this match. Like, and if my eyes didn't deceive me, I believe Noam Dar was wearing Kente cloth. So another point for Noam Dar in the culture. But I thought this was good.
And Lash Legend gets a win. She got the pin, which I
She did.
remember for the longest time we really liked her, but she wasn't winning any matches. So I'm happy for her.
Yes, it was fun. Let's see. Owen Lola Vice and Electra Lopez appeared at ringside during this.
great.
Slow build.
Yeah, I'm pissed that we're unifying and getting rid of the NXT Women's Tag titles when the Women's
Why?
Tag Division's heating, because the Women's Tag Division in NXT is heating back up again, and there's no champion. It's just
There is champions. They're gonna be able to go across brands. They should have gotten rid of these titles a long time ago. These titles should have been unified.
okay. But let me ask you a question: with Shayna and Ronda as the unified champions, is there any team in NXT that credibly has a chance to even hold their own, let alone win those titles?
So you want them to keep the other titles so people have a chance? That's not how it works. Build yourself up to have a chance at it.
Yeah, you got to build them up.
Do you think they're going to build anyone up to a point of credibility
that
they could beat Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler?
No, but that's okay.
I think what's her face? The one you like, Diamond Mine,
Ivy Nile.
Ivy Nile.
Oh, they could absolutely build her up.
You get her a partner, they'll allow them to have a credible match.
They've been having credible matches with everyone. I mean, Kate and Katana look super strong against them on Raw.
I don't know.
They did.
I don't know.
They had
but on NXT.
honestly,
on NXT.
They're from NXT.
Yeah, but they're on the main roster though now. That's what I'm saying.
I'm not just saying this to say it because Glenn's here, but I do think that Ivy Nile and Nikita Lyons could be a good tag team as like a big and little tag team to build them up for Ronda and Shayna. I'd be here for it.
What would you call that tag team? The illusion of scale? Like
the illusion of wrestling.
Oh man. You don't have to sit there and take that, Glenn.
Nikita's finisher is better. Nikita can do the 5 moves she needs to do well enough to get through a match.
Can she, or is she gonna get?
She might injure herself.
Yeah,
but she can do the 5 moves.
Since she's been here, she spent more time injured than here, Glenn.
You try hitting a power split over somebody again and again and again. You're gonna pull.
That's the thing. Do you think they're gonna stop? Because that was her big finisher. Do you think they're gonna stop her from doing that?
They should. If he's hurting her, they should.
If that's what the issue is, they got to come up with something else.
Yeah.
Kelvin R. Alexander, $2, saying that match wasn't great, but Chikara.
Yeah, listen, it wasn't the greatest match. I had very low expectations. Maybe that's why I was impressed. But this is fine. It wasn't a disaster. And Jakara Jackson for her first match, I thought looked very good.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, George W. Bush tried to teach us all about the soft bigotry of low expectations.
Well, I taught you the best lesson. Always have the worst expectations.
Yes. Yes.
Not just no expectation, the worst expectations. Then you're either pleasantly surprised or you're just not disappointed. So you win.
I expected everybody to get hurt and everybody's healthy, so I'm happy.
No, Dylan, what the hell?
It just hurts. The Nikita and Soul thing hurts because in my mind, those were the 2 heir apparents to the NXT Women's title. It was going to be either Nikita, and then when Nikita was out, Soul was the clear choice.
Their time will come.
Hope so. So Seth Rollins versus Braun Breaker for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship in the main event tonight.
Ah, so good.
Excellent.
The crowd stopped singing the song pretty quickly.
Yeah, but they were singing it throughout, and when Seth wanted them to, they would get it going. I thought this is like a pay-per-view main event. I thought, not that Braun needs a tryout or that they need to see anything else from him, but if this was like their test run of him on the main roster, he's going to fit in just fine.
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't been here that long, and he not only was he toe-to-toe with Seth Rollins, he brought out the best in him, he pushed him to the limit. I love Braun Breaker in this match. I also love Seth. Seth came in ready for what Braun Breaker was throwing at him. I enjoyed the crap out of this, and this good main event, not an NXT pay-per-view, a main roster pay-per-view right now if you put it on there.
So let me ask you, what do you think the odds are that Braun shows up on Monday's Raw and challenges Seth to a rematch of Money in the Bank?
He has a match at Money in the Bank.
Oh, yeah.
Against Finn Balor, who showed up being a badass at the end of this.
They could triple threat it, and Finn could take the pin.
No. Wow.
Yeah,
let Braun take the pin.
No, come on.
Yeah, he just took one. He literally just took one. Why couldn't he take another one?
He's leaving the territory. So when he comes back to Raw or when he debuts on Raw, they really should keep him away from Seth Rollins.
If you triple threaded, you can't. Like, not for.
I don't like the idea of a triple threat.
Finn is gonna eat a pin at Money in the Bank no matter what, because I don't see Seth dropping the title. But I personally think that what you did last night on Raw and tonight with Finn could really revive him, because Finn was in a very boring place, probably the most boring member of Judgment Day. And I love what they did yesterday. I love what he did tonight. And it's just like, man, are we going to just do all this for him to lose and go back to blah Finn Balor? Like, I'm loving this version of Finn.
Well, if
even Seth acknowledged it.
I think it's going to be Finn Balor versus Damian Priest at SummerSlam. Okay. I think they're going to start splitting, and I think that's going to be a hot match.
Please call him Mr. Money in the Bank, because by then he will be Mr. Money in the Bank. Thank you.
We'll see.
Actually, Poppy in the Bank sounds better.
If Braun had won tonight, this would have been the biggest moment in NXT history.
Okay, but that would have never happened. Like, you actually thought?
Yeah, because Seth had an excuse because he was softened up from Finn. Seth doesn't need
he's got a pay-per-view match against Finn Balor. Like, they're in the middle of the program. What do they
just
do?
created this title. They're trying to really build it up. I never thought that Braun had a chance here in hell. Maybe you're right, because I would have been shocked as hell. It would have been huge. I went into this thinking Braun Breaker had negative 100% chances of winning here.
You guys notice they're borrowing from the Orange Cassidy story with Seth Rollins, and that he's this workhorse. They even said maybe he's stretching himself out too thin, which is what they say during every Orange Cassidy match, where now Seth Rollins is the one getting hurt, and he's defending in pain, and he's a workhorse, and eventually...
Oh my God, he wrestled one match in like 3 weeks. Please.
Yeah, well, they're trying.
I know, but you know the reality. Like, he had that match with Damian Priest in the match yesterday. That was 3 weeks ago. The match yesterday didn't happen because he got attacked. So technically speaking, he ain't no damn workhorse. They need to relax. They need to chill.
Do we think Logan Paul wins his Money in the Bank and takes it off Seth?
No.
It'd be interesting.
Stranger things.
No, but I was thinking about that. Like, imagine that briefcase in the background of every impulsive video. And oh my God, the marketing for that. It was so funny because I'm like, I saw him announce and I'm like, well, there goes Damian Priest and LA Knight chance. I think they're good. I think it's gonna be a crazy freaking ladder match.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
This was a good match though tonight.
It was so much fun, and afterwards, Finn Balor shows up and just goes crazy on Seth Rollins again. He did it yesterday. Seth couldn't do his open challenge because Finn just injured him, and Finn was not done. I love seeing this spark back in Finn Balor.
Yeah. This was good. This was a hot end to the show tonight. They got
also, why did Carmelo and Trick got to get involved here?
Well, they had the champions respect. They had the backstage angle where they were champion to champion. There was a respect, and it was very well done. And so now they're coming to save Seth Rollins like the baby faces they are.
Yeah. It was good. Good match.
Seth Rollins also stole Carmelo's catchphrase, by the way.
By the way,
Carmelo
I did love
trademark.
I was gonna say I did love the use of Seth Rollins backstage when Nathan walked up to him. You had that t-shirt moment, like t-shirt student moment, and him telling him he's proud. I was like, oh, this is so cute. But at the same time, Seth kept his sense of humor, talking about like, I'm proud that you have this giant trophy you gotta carry around everywhere. I thought that was funny.
Supposed to know that? Because I don't remember ever, from a storyline standpoint, Seth and Nathan.
No, but every once
like
in
a real
while,
life thing.
Seth, he went to Seth's wrestling school.
Black and Blue.
Okay.
Black and Brave.
Yeah, Black and Brave. So Seth was his mentor. But every once in a while, they can do a thing that caters to the hardcore without making it so obvious. And I felt like that moment was that, you know. And then they had a great moment with him and Carmelo Hayes where they showed respect, but they still were that tension of, I want your title. You know, I thought the use of Seth Rollins backstage today was very well done.
Yeah. Good. Good times.
Great times.
Hot show next week. Gold Rush round 2.
Friday sucked.
But you didn't like Friday night? You didn't enjoy Friday night SmackDown? You didn't like the end?
What were you saying? Did you say just now? What were you saying just now? You were saying something.
We loved it. Friday night was a place to be.
Sure.
I know you were distraught.
That was fine. Roman's gonna be okay. They're useless.
So next week, Gold Rush Part 2. Friday night, the Fallout. from the Usos splitting from the Bloodline.
Oh, it's getting so hot. And then we're going to go to the O2. The O2 is this Friday, right? Or is it next week?
Saturday?
It's next week.
Or no,
No, I mean,
next week. It's
SmackDown
next
and the
week.
O2 next week.
It's
Okay,
next
that's going to be
week.
great. That's going to be awesome.
It is gonna be great. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I love the graphic that they made for this Bloodline match at
Civil
Money
War?
in the Bank with the Civil War. Like, it's so much fun.
After we talked about that last week, they should really have an asterisk and at the bottom say like the Marvel Civil War, not the one to end slavery.
Just so we're clear.
They should
Right.
really make that clear. It's weird to use that as a reference. Marvel kind of reinvented that
Yeah.
phrase.
That's really
Little
what I
bit.
think of these days when I hear Civil War.
Me too.
Is the Marvel
Me too.
Civil War.
My brain goes automatically to that before it goes to the other Civil War.
I was like,
It
shit, they're
actually
going to
goes to
Gettysburg?
Marvel, then it goes to a Kanye West lyric about fisting, then it goes to the actual then it goes to what it actually means.
It's a great song.
It is a great song.
Kelvin R. Alexander,
You're gonna go listen to it when we go up there.
$2 saying Issa's trying to stay strong.
I'm trying my
Trying.
best. I appreciate the support.
There you have it, folks. Follow Issa at NYC Demon Diva. That's Steve with a 1. Alfred said, "This is nasty." I'm at Glenn Rubenstein. Until next time, we will catch you folks back here on the Wrestling Inc. podcast. Take care.
Bye.